What's up guys? Jimmy, aka Bloody Vengeance. Last week I did a restoration on my vintage GiJoe Skystriker. Uh, I posted a lot of the stuff on social media and I got a lot of requests from people asking me to show more of what I did, and I just so happened to film some of the stuff I did, not all of it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I can put some text or something like that when I'm editing this video. But most of the stuff I did is really simple, and I used household items. I think the only thing I used was Goo Gone and just soap and water. It wasn't very difficult to do. Of course, some of them will be much worse than others. Uh, if it's in really bad yellow condition where the sun has just beat the shit out of it or something like that, then you can do a process where you can soak it in hydrogen peroxide um, and leave it in the sun for up to 7 days, and it works. I mean, it's taken stuff that's like yellow, 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 and made it bright white. So I know the process works. I opted out of doing it to my Skystriker simply because I would need a lot of hydrogen peroxide, and you can't just use like the 3% stuff. Actually, you can, but it would take forever. That you buy at like Walgreens or whatever. You'd have to use like the salon stuff that people use on their hair. It's like 12% or more. And the idea is to keep it submersed with sunlight hitting it, which is totally weird, I know, but it works. So if you have like a snowcat or like an old vintage stormtrooper, something where the plastic yellows, like Storm Shadow, the original GiJoe Storm Shadow is very prone to that. That is an awesome thing to do to get them looking brand new again. And of course, you can do it on big vehicles too. You just have to have a lot of hydrogen peroxide in a big container to put them in. With figures, you can put them in little Ziploc bags with the hydrogen peroxide and just put them out on the sidewalk or something, or in the grass, and just leave them there. It takes about 7 days or so, maybe less, depending on how bad it is. And that process works. But without further ado, I'll show you what I did on my Skystriker. As much of the stuff as I can. I could have made it bright white, but when you see the end results, those of you that haven't seen it, you're going to see it wasn't necessary. It looks pretty much brand new, and it was looking like shit. So anyway, enjoy the video, guys. So here is the condition before I remove the labels. By this point, I had already soaked it in water once and given it a warm water bath because I already knew that I was going to remove the labels. If you're not going to remove the labels and replace them, or the decals, then you got to be very careful with the water because it will fuck up your decals. But anyway, I had already decided I'm taking them off, so that is the very first thing I'm going to do. This is after the first sticker is off. You can see that's really bad. This is just for before reference. I'm about to do this one here, and I'm basically just peeling them off using my hands. They come off pretty easy even though they're old. You just gotta lift that first little piece off. You can see there it goes. So my plan for this is to leave all this sticky stuff. I'm gonna give it a good bath in warm water, a second bath. I already gave it one bath just to get dirt off of it. But when I decided I was gonna redo the stickers, I decided I'm gonna give it one more good warm bath. See if I can get more of this grimy stuff off it with a brush. But anyway, you get the idea. That's how I'm removing all the labels. So I will update once all the labels are removed. But I expect them all to leave a lot of sticky residue on the plastic. So I'm gonna try and remove that with warm water and soap in the bathtub initially, because it's a big plane. Sink won't do. Just hit it with that, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try some Goo Gone on a small part just to be sure it doesn't discolor it. But I'll update you. I'll be back. I've taken a few labels off the plane here, but as you can see, there's a bunch still left to do. So that is my next step, is to start actually peeling all the labels off the plane now. Here it is with the Decals Removed. As you can see, it's in pretty bad shape, so I'm going to try to get some of that stuff off. I don't think I'll be able to get it to get too white, but since I'm not hydrogen peroxiding it, but I think I can make it look a lot better. So let's see. Closer look at the condition of everything before I throw it in the water. And kind of see, this is not too bad. I had already given it one bath, so I made it better, but I'm going to try and make that a lot better and see how it looks. So I'm going to start by putting these smaller pieces that are in some crappy shape and letting them soak for a while in some warm soapy water before I scrub it. So that will be what I do next after getting all the decals off. Let's see if I can get a lot of this crap off of this with just soap, water, and a toothbrush scrubbing. So basically pump a few of these guys in there. Make the water soapy. And go at it. I'll let you know what's up. Alright, so here it goes. I'm just going to give it, this is just soap and water first. See how much of this crap's going to come off. Not come off, especially the adhesive. Looks like it's going to be a bitch to remove. Little by little it's coming off. Might need to use something else to get the rest of it off, but this is a good start. Yep, even the adhesive for the most part is coming off with the warm water. Maybe let it sit a little bit longer. Definitely coming off slowly though. Big improvement, as you can see. Get some hot water running on it. You get the idea. Alright, so after scrubbing a bunch, I got about that much off. Still quite a bit left. The other wing did a lot better, but this one still got a lot of shit on it. So my next thing I'm going to try is this stuff here, this Goo Gone stuff. I'm going to try to apply it with a rag first, and I'm going to do it really slowly because I want to be sure that there is no reaction on the plastic, which is another reason I'm doing it on this small part here, the wing. Kind of hides on the inside of the plane if there is an issue. But let's see what this does. It's coming off. It's a lot more work than I'd like it to be, especially because I have an entire plane left. Actually, no, that came off pretty easy. So yeah, I don't see any discoloration. Either way, I would recommend
not leaving it on there. So wipe it with a dry party rag, so that in case there is some type of effect that happens chemically between the plastic and the solution at a later time, it doesn't happen so drastically. I guess the less of the stuff there is on there, the less fucked you'll be. But yeah, it seems to be, so as you can see, that seems to be removing it. Oh yeah, definitely. So it looks like this is the way to go, is with an initial scrub down, and then followed up by this. I would dunk it in water again, just like I'm doing, just to get all that shit off of it, or solution. And again, I put very, very little, as you can see. It's like nothing as far as the Goo Gone goes. Just enough to get it to work. Now there's little parts in here that I'm not able to get to, but this thing already looks a ton better. It already looks a lot better. Huge difference from that nasty thing it had there. You can probably get into some of these crevices better with a brush. But anyway, seems to work well. So to get if you have a really bad one like the one I had, where the sticker funk is everywhere and dirt, get some Goo Gone, because it seems to work well. Alright, back soon. I'm going to get the rest of these parts out and just wipe them down. Alright, after giving this just a little wipe with cloth, already looking a little nicer. I'm still going to try to buff some of that stuff out with plastics. If it's too scratched, it won't work, but I think it'll be an improvement nonetheless. I'm just going to go ahead and just finish drying the rest of these parts, getting them out of the water. Seats. Just the warm water bath for these little black parts is enough. You don't need to do anything else unless there's a lot of buildup of stuff on it. I guess it depends on where they kept it. But for the most part, that should do it. It looks pretty good already. Usually I'll go over it one more time before I put it back in, but it's looking good. Another one of these things, thrusters. Oh, you guys get the idea. Just pull them out, dry them. If it didn't have any decals on it, like stuff like this, I don't know if it takes decals or not, but I guess when I reapply them, the new ones, I'll find out. But this piece here, I don't really need to do anything else. So I'm just wiping down all these pieces without decals. If it did have decals, then I'll go ahead and scrub them and hit them with the Goo Gone, and that should do it. Use some plastics on this thing to see if I can get it to be a little nicer than it is, although it's not too bad anymore. So I had good results on the Night Rider with it. Let's see what happens. So here it is after the plastics. Not sure it made too much of a difference, but I think it did a little bit. Either way, it looks really pretty good right now, I think. Alright, so it's bath time. I'm gonna give them another warm bath. Scrub with the brush and the towel. Just soapy water, and see how much of that I can get off with just the soapy water. I don't expect to get too much of it off without the Goo Gone, but I'm gonna try and save some time by removing it with soapy water. So the bath didn't do too much for the labels. You can still see that. The Goo Gone, I've already hit it some here with it, and it's taking off the darker stuff, but some of this other stuff is really hard to get off. I'm not sure that Goo Gone will get that off. I'm gonna keep trying, but I may need to find something else or some other way to get that really thick stuff off. Update shortly. After the first phase of glue gone, you can see some of the yellowing stayed there, but I think I got all of the adhesive off. So it's working, it's just a really slow process. Alright, so after removing some of that stuff, it's starting to look better. To be continued. Done for the day, but it's starting to look pretty nice. So I've pretty much glue gunned everything. I've applied 1 or 2 labels, but that's as good as it's gonna get as far as cleaning goes without bleaching it, which I don't want to do. Just too big of a piece and way too much hydrogen peroxide. So on smaller stuff I would do it, but anyway, I am going to start applying labels and we'll update soon. Alright, Skystriker is all done. Best I'm gonna be able to do on it, at least. But overall, huge upgrade, huge improvement. It was looking like pure shit before. So, I think, overall, looking pretty good. Pretty happy with it. So, been meaning to do this for a while with the Skystriker. I've had it forever, but doing other things, I finally got to it. So now I feel pretty good to own it, because before I was like, this is pure shit. But anyway, there it is.